How's it going, neighbors? This is Ed here with eTrailer.com, and we're taking a look at the Hollywood Rack's Destination e-bike carrier on the back of our 2022 Ford Bronco Sport. Now, the Hollywood Rack's Destination E is going to focus more so on your e-bikes, and that has to do with the fact that it is a frame-mounted bike carrier, but what's special about it is this rear bar here. This is going to allow you to make contact with your top tube, your down tube, or your seat tube, however you need it for whatever type of bike you have. So if you have an adult's bike and kid's bike, or if you have one of those newer e-bikes where the frame is more like a step-through bike, you're going to be able to position this however you need. Now, I know you're looking and saying, how can I get this arm across? It looks like it'll make contact right here. Well, these actually are removable. You can use the clamp and remove it from the side and position it however you need to get your bike carrier clamp over to the exterior cradle. Now, as far as how it interacts with the back of the Bronco, let's take a look at the tilt. Now, this is a good feature, and it actually has a pretty impressive tilt out of a lot of the bike carriers I've put on the Bronco Sport. Just gonna twist this knob, and you're just gonna tilt it forward. Now, with your carrier being capable of holding two bikes at 70 pounds each, you may want some assistance just to make sure all that weight doesn't come down on you, but it does give you complete clearance to get into the back of your Bronco Sport, where you can take advantage of your bottle opener after your ride, or put your shoes on or whatever, you know. And we're gonna flip our carrier back into the upright position, and we're gonna re-engage that bolt. Now, one thing that I have noticed with some of our bike carriers, this is a small frame bike here, and with the clearance on the handlebars tend to be a little bit shorter on the smaller bikes. If you were to have a mountain bike or something that was a large frame, you would be okay as far as your handlebar clearance, but it's something you definitely want to check out and be concerned about not making contact with the bike. So now we're going to take our bike off of the carrier and take a closer look at some of the features on the Destination. I'm gonna press the button here and release my strap and just feed it through my spokes, leaving that center clamp on the frame just to stabilize the carrier. We're gonna do the same over here. I think it's kind of cool on the front wheel. You have the chalk and two straps that are gonna keep everything nice and sturdy. And then you have your lockable clamp here. Kind of reminds me of a little robot from a Saturday morning cartoon. And we're just gonna snatch our bike off of the carrier. Now, the carrier itself is made of powder coated steel. So that powder coating is gonna help you maintain a nice look and hold up against the abuse of being out there on the road. Now, as far as your cradles themselves, they'll support wheels up to 4.5 inches wide. So if you have fat tires that are wider than that, this would not work for those. It's kind of cool when you have those larger options to keep everything, you know, nice and secure. So you want to stay within the range of your capacity. And for your rear, you actually have a optional ramp, and that's going to allow you to get your bike off a lot easier. Since I'm demonstrating with a small mountain bike, it's not necessary to really use that, but it is expandable, and you would be able to just twist your knob, extend it out, and just drop her down right here. And the cool thing is, if you're in a spot where I have this wall where you couldn't extend it, you could just hop your bike over and roll it down. One thing that is a drawback on the carrier, on the ramp, is the fact that it does not stow away on the carrier itself. So you will have to find a space for it to store. So let's grab our tape and take a look at our measurements and see how we're interacting with the back of the vehicle. Now, one thing that I've noticed, when you have an overall length on the back of a vehicle, sometimes you get used to it not being there. So having this measurement, it'll just kind of give you an idea of what you're actually adding. So going from the bumper, we're right by the license plate, to the farthest point out, you're right at 33 3/4 inches. At the closest point, Yeah, you're right. From the bumper, you're right at 6¼ inch. So you have plenty of space to move through here, but in this upright position, you won't have any way to access your cargo area. So we're gonna fold over this mast by removing the rubber straps and just releasing these handles. And we're just gonna tilt her over and just re-engage the clamps and then secure it with the strap again. And then from there, we're gonna fold up our carrier and see how close we look in our stowed away position. So I'm just gonna give this pin a pull, lift her up, and we're gonna reinstall our safety pin. There we go, nice and secure. And just while we're down here, we'll take a look at the shank itself. It has an anti-rattle device that's gonna help pull back on your secured lock pin, and that's gonna help stabilize that up and down motion that you have when you're going down the road. And let's see how compact we are on the back of the Bronco now. So at the closest point, we're still pretty far away from the vehicle. At the bumper, at the closest point, we're right at 8½ inches. Overall, I'll say this is farther out. So yeah, overall, we're about 17 inches or so to the back of the vehicle. So just something to be aware of when you're backing up. It's gonna block out your license plate. This is gonna cover your backup camera. So just use a little bit of extra caution as you're going down the road. Now, if you're looking for a bike carrier that's gonna give you a little bit more premium feel to it, that has wheel mounts instead of frame mount, because maybe you have a nicer bike or you're worried about that contact, the Kuat Piston X is a solid carrier to go with. If you're okay with that contact and you're looking for a really highly rated carrier that a lot of our neighbors love, the Destination e-bike carrier is a solid one. So again, this is Ed with eTrailer.com taking a look at the Hollywood Racks Destination e-bike carrier on our 2022 Ford Bronco. Have a great day.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the Solemn. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners and evasive maneuvers. Then we get to the alternating speed bumps. We'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving on uneven pavement. Then we'll go over the full speed bumps, and we can see the up and down action. This will be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or a driveway.